Thanks for watching another Slice of Sci-Fi video review. I'm Noah Richmond.
And I'm Daren Goldsvig.
Today we're talking about the...
Pete's Dragon. Got it first.
That's right. New remake of Pete's Dragon. So update of the 70s. I guess some would call it a classic. Others...
I loved it. The classic, of course, yeah.
It's one I saw as a kid and I just have no memory of. So to me, this was like an all-new movie. Obviously, this time around being quite a different film in that the Pete is a waif lost in the woods and being raised after losing his family in a tragic car accident, basically being raised by this fantastic creature, this dragon that takes him in the woods. So
Elliot.
Yeah, right. Which he winds up naming Elliot after the name of a puppy in a children's book he's been reading. Anyway, do you have enough memory of the original to make any kind of comparison?
I will not gonna lie. After I did go back and I did read up on it because my memory wasn't as great. Of course I remember Helen Reddy being in that movie, and of course Mickey Rooney. But the one thing I forgot about is that there was lots of singing in the original Pete's Dragon.
Okay.
So it was like a song, kind of in the Mary Poppins fashion, and I don't know if they were trying to kind of bring in that into the actual movie that was, I think, released in '77 or so. But it's I think in spirit it's the same, but it's enough of a difference to obviously be a new reimagining of the Pete's Dragon. So, but having said all that, being a fan of it as original as a kid, I enjoyed it. Did you
enjoyed the film?
Yeah. Did you enjoy it? I mean,
well, in terms of what I remember, the only thing I remember is that it happened by the sea, and I was a little, why is this in the woods? I remember it being kind of by the sea, but beyond that, just as far as the film itself goes, what I really liked is, it was cute and it was sweet, but I really liked how it played up that fun of the wilderness and that love of nature and that feeling of magic as he's there in the natural world and he has this dragon companion, and it's really all about the not just the wonder of the natural world, but also the wonder of childhood, right. And trying to capture that magical place, but also that showing you that it's there, this is there in the world. And so in some ways it was making an environmentalist statement without getting on a soapbox about it.
Yeah, well, that was my worry too. It was like, I was thinking when the whole protect the forest, push was going forth, I was getting a little worried, thinking, okay, let's not turn this into an obvious soapbox here. And it didn't do that, which was a nice relief to me,
Right. Well, it made an actual point without having to
be heavy-handed,
be political.
Yeah,
and I thought it was quite effective in really evoking that. So all of those things I liked about it. My major complaint is just for myself. I did feel like it dragged after a while. I don't remember what the running time was, but at a certain point I was feeling like this is getting a bit long, and I'm ready for it to end, and it kept going. So I did have that complaint about it.
Yeah.
The other complaint I did have is I thought the soundtrack was completely overdone.
Oh, really? I kind of enjoyed the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It kind of just that folk spin, it kind of gave that vibe. Whether every song needed to be done in the way it was,
Well, see, the folk part I didn't have an issue with. I felt there were just too many times where something was happening in the film, like, the dragon flies up and he's carrying somebody on his back, and the feeling of elation, the music just swells to a ridiculous chorus.
Well, that's Disney for you, man.
I mean, Disney has a habit of doing that, but I just, to me, it was grating in this film. Like, I just felt there were a lot of times where I felt like the soundtrack was just getting in the way of my enjoyment of the movie.
No, that's fair.
So I wasn't all through and through enamored because I felt like it was too long and because of my soundtrack complaint. But I did think it was a nice film, you know, and it was nice to see something that was just pointing out that there is wonders left in the world.
Well, and I thought that sense of magic, you know, that's commonplace in a lot of the Disney films was well done, and yeah, I felt the same thing. I didn't necessarily felt it dragged on, just because I was kind of compelled. I was just invested in to see what happens to this boy, Pete, and to come from a place where you felt so bad for him to be in the place he was in, the position he was in, and to see how strong of a person he was, even as a boy.
Right.
And it was kind of inspirational. And again, I mean, some may be tearing up a little bit from the movie because they're happy tears. And Robert Redford was in there, and of course he seems to have aged overnight. But I thought he gave that kind of that grandpa type touch to the movie. You know, just somebody that reminds us to listen to our elders. You know.
And you're right. There was a sadness to the film as well, which again was where I think, there is some touching on, kind of the wonder of childhood, and at the same time a sort of the loss of growing up as well. Yeah,
I mean, that's whether this movie is going to make that connection with other people is obviously depends on the viewer, but I really enjoyed it, and I think most people who watch this and give it a chance will also enjoy it as well. I mean, like I said, I was a fan of the original movie, but after seeing this one and having not seen the other one for many decades, I can't say that this was better than the other. It was just different. But ultimately, maybe I would like it better. It's because the old one's so kind of cheesy, you know. Back in those days, they were doing the animation married with live action.
Right.
And other than Mary Poppins,
the effects in this one were amazing.
They were amazing.
Yeah, the dragon was very impressive.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Dragon. It could be overly scary or overly cheesy, and I think they hit the right, ground with that. So, but overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, that's about what I can say,
Yeah, I thought it was a nice movie. It evoked a lot of pleasantry and wonder for me, and also sadness, some feeling of melancholy. Not a perfect film. I definitely preferred The Jungle Book. I thought this one went on too long, didn't quite have enough going on for my taste. But on the whole, it was a nice film.
It's better than Suicide Squad. All right.
That's our thoughts on Pete's Dragon. Thank you for watching Slice of Sci-Fi.
See you later.